Good morning, afternoon, or evening. How y'all doing today? Today, we are going to the place that you love the most. The land of word problems. Yes. There are rational expression word problems. Absolutely. And guess what? These are the ones that most people falter on the SAT. This is the one. These are the type of people of problems that people look at and say, "Oh, I don't get it. I don't know how to do it. I wasn't taught that way." Well, we're going to eliminate hopefully all of those excuses today. Remember that the goal of any equation, I don't care if it's a rational equation or a cubic equation or a quadratic equation or a linear equation, regardless of the difficulty, is always the same. Solve for the variable in question, period, by isolating that variable. Remember that. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve for a variable, okay? Now, there are three different types of problems that we're going to learn about. We're going to learn about the ratio word problems. Ratio word problems include scale problems, money exchange word problems, similar figure word problems. The word problems where like you want to find the height of a tree or a cliff. You can do that with these kind of word problems. So that's one type you're going to do with ratios. You're also going to do problems that involve, I already said, similar figures. You're also going to do work problems. Work is the real powerful stuff, and we're going to do that tomorrow. Work problems is like if I tell you, John can mow the lawn in 4 hours. His brother Simon can mow the lawn in 3 hours. If they work together, how long will it take them to mow the lawn? That's a type of problem we're going to have. I know not many people like those, but I promise you I have a great trick for it, a great method. And then we're going to go back to uniform motion, distance, rate, and time. But this time, we're going to be able to set up equations that have rational expressions. So today we're going to do the easy stuff. So you can, all right, we're going to ease our way into this, okay? We're going to ease it in. Remember that a ratio is the quotient of two quantities and can be written in three forms. A to B, A colon B, or A over B. It's just a fraction. You can write ratios in three different ways. Remember that. Also remember, my brothers, excuse me, that the proportion is formed by two equal ratios. A proportion is an equation in the form of the ratio A to B equals the ratio C to D, where A, B, C, and D are terms of the proportion. Now, I'm not going to get into this heavy today, but you're going to get into this super heavy next year in geometry. So when you see these words, you're going to say, oh, that's right, okay, I remember kind of doing some stuff with that with Morrow. The terms B and C, okay, those guys are called the means of the proportion. And A and D are called the extremes of the proportion. Later on, like I said, in geometry, you have a lot of uses for this. But just remember, if they're talking about means and extremes, they're talking about a proportion. The means are the denominator of the first fraction and the numerator of the second fraction. The extremes are the numerator of the first fraction and the denominator of the second fraction. Okay? That's all you have to know about means and extremes for now. Now, let's start easy and we'll crank it up a little bit, little by little. Solve the proportion x over 5 equals 63 over 105. Two ways to do this. When it's nice and easy like this, guys, I could cross multiply, right? I could. Or I could multiply by the LCD, right? What is the LCD here in this particular case, gentlemen? 105. So if I multiply everything by 105, that's going to give me 21x equals 63. Divide 21 to both sides. X equals 3. Now, like I said, this is a Mickey Mouse problem. You could have done it like this as well. I don't want anyone to be watching this on the internet and going, dude, this guy makes you do the hardest way. No. You could do it this way. Just multiply 5 to both sides. X equals 5 times 63 divided by 105. That goes to 21. That will still be 3. A couple different ways to do this. However, I want to teach you the concept for when we get a little bit more difficult. You understand what it is that I'm doing and why I chose to do it this way. So let's continue to do it with the LCD, in my opinion. Mickey Mouse so far, right? Get ready for a nice, easy day, guys. How about this one? Last summer, Alejandro took a study abroad trip to Italy. Really cool, by the way. If you could do it, that'd be great. When she returned, she examined her credit card bill and found that she spent 159 euros. Euros are the European dollar. On the digital camera she bought in Venice. The bill stated that $1 was equal to 0.636416 euros to the nearest cent. Okay? How much did the camera cost in the US? So first of all, let's round this to the nearest cent. Okay? So $1 equals how many euros? 0.64. Now, please guys, I know I'm a little maniacal, but listen to me. They just gave you what I like to call the fact. That is the fact. It is a fact that $1 will get you 64 cents of euros. Okay? They want to know, though, how many dollars is this 159 euro thing? Well, please set it up always like this, guys. That's why I love ratios, because I figured out a nice, easy way. You put your fact ratio here. The fact is that $1 equals 0.64 cents of euros. Now, remember this, guys. Unit to unit. My brothers, what was I given? Dollars or euros to convert? Euros. So euro to euro. I put 159 down here. Not because I wanted to or because I'm trying to be a pain in the butt or I want to make it difficult. It's because of unit to unit. And then do I know how many dollars this 159 will give me, my friends? X. Now, I am going to let you use a calculator. All right? I think that as we get more difficult in math, we have to be fair with each other. And that means I have to be fair with you. I just went to Europe on my honeymoon. In fact, I just went to Italy. Guys, let's be honest. Did I make every single conversion in my head? No. The exchange rate was 1.38 euros for a dollar. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it cost me, I'm sorry, $1.38 for every euro. So it was a very difficult conversion. Did I know how to do the average, the estimate? Yes. But if I wanted to calculate tip or something, I use my calculator. I'm not ashamed of that. Does it matter if you use your calculator as long as you know the procedure? Does it matter if you use a calculator, really? Do engineers use calculators? Do mathematicians use calculators? Do chemists use calculators? Do architects use calculators? You guys can use a calculator for these kind of situations. Now, does the calculator set it up for you? So does the calculator do any good to you if you don't know how to set it up? Okay, I just wanted to go over that. Now let's do this Mickey Mouse style with your calculator. How do you guys want to do this? Cross multiply? Yeah. So let's go 159 equals 0.64x divided by 0.64 divided by 0.64. So x is going to equal to the nearest cent $248.44. That's how powerful the euro is, guys. And that's how you use this ratio. And that, believe it or not, that is a rational expression. Because you had x's. You with me? Okay. May I continue? Now, don't get in the habit of using a calculator. I don't use it unless I need to, me personally, okay? On a map, 1/4 of an inch represents a distance of 15 miles. According to the map, Springfield and Brookhaven are 3.5 inches apart. Find the number of miles between the two cities. My brothers, what is the fact? What? Thank you. 1/4 of an inch, which let's go ahead and put to 0.25, over 15 miles. That's the fact they gave me. Now, unit to unit. What am I looking for? What did they give me? They gave the distance from Springfield to Brookhaven in inches, which is 3.5. So remember, inches, unit to unit. And what am I looking for, my brothers? Miles. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. 0.25x equals, again, you could use your calculator here for speed. 15 times 3.5, that equals 52.5, divided by 25. 0.25, x will equal 210. 210 what? How did you know it was miles? Because you set up when you're set up, you put all the units and you knew exactly what you were looking for. Does that make sense, my brothers? May I continue? Thank you. Example 4. An automobile manufacturer is advertising special financing on its autos. A buyer will have a monthly payment of $16.67 for every 10,000 borrowed. I'm sorry? For every 1,000 borrowed. Sorry, thank you guys. If Mark borrows $14,000, find the monthly payment. All right, my brothers, what is the fact? $16.67 payment, right, for every $1,000 borrowed. Why am I bothering to put all these little labels? Thank you. You know which dollars we're talking about because we're going units to units. So it can be kind of hard if you don't do that. Let me pause real quick. All right. All right, guys. So we have my fact. But remember, I put payment and borrowed so that now I can set up my unit to unit. So what am I looking for? What did they give me? You're looking for the payment. Thank you. And they gave me 14,000 borrowed. Bless you. Bless you out there. So let's go ahead. Cross multiply. What you got? X is going to equal $233.30? Thank you, gentlemen. Now, this is very useful. When I bought my car, I knew exactly what my payment would be before I sat down. I knew exactly what it was going to be. I knew it. Not because I'm a genius, but literally, while they were doing their thing, getting coffee, I sat down, I set up a little equation. I said, oh, this is exactly what they're going to tell me to pay. And then when he was telling me, okay, when your monthly payment's going to be, I stopped and I go, is it going to be blah? He goes, yeah, how did you know that? So a lot of people don't think about these things. You guys are not going to be those people. Okay, last thing to learn for today. Mickey Mouse as well. Excuse me. Two figures are similar if their corresponding angle measures are equal and their corresponding sides are proportional. What does that mean? If I've got two shapes that are the same, two figures that are the same shape, by the way, you can't have different shapes be similar. What's going to happen? Yeah, I swear. A, B, C, someone actually asked me, they're like, sir, what about a square and a rectangle? I'm like, well, they're not similar. All right, so they've got to be the same shape, right? So that means that A has to equal D, B has to equal E, C has to equal F. And when you do the proportion AB to DE, it better equal the proportion BC to EF, and that better equal the proportion AC to DF. So all corresponding angles are congruent, and all corresponding sides are proportional. So now, you literally set up a proportion, my brothers. Mickey Mouse time. You could do this one of two ways. I like to do it this way. 45 corresponds to X, right? And 10 corresponds to 4. I'm going to show you both ways. I do it this way. 45 to X must equal 10 to 4. The danger of doing it this way, if you start here, you got to start here again on your second one. So do not go 45 over X and now, 4 over 5. That will be wrong. Stick to the correct rhythm. Or you could do 45 to 10 has to equal X to 4. I really don't care what you do. Like, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I really don't. 45 times 4 is 180 times, so 10X equals 180 divided by 10. X equals 18. Pretty simple, right? Okay. While hiking in the forest, Joel noticed a bald eagle's nest at the top of a pine tree. If Joel's 3-foot walking stick produces a 4-foot shadow and the pine tree produces a 24-foot shadow, how tall is the tree? Sometimes drawing this works for me. Here's my tree, and I don't know how tall it is, but it's got a 24-foot shadow. And then I got this 3-foot stick that has a 4-foot shadow. Okay? I close those off. I make hypotenuses because these are 90 degrees. They're straight up and down. So now, X to 24 has to equal 3 to 4 because I went corresponding side to corresponding side. Cross multiply, 4X equals 72. Divide by 4, X equals 18 feet. So that is how tall or how high up the eagle is. And that's it. Sir. Okay, thank you. The question was, please sit down, guys. We're not done. The question was, I set it up like this, Mr. Moore. X to 4 equals 24 to 3. That's completely wrong. And I'll tell you why, my man. X is this vertical. That corresponds to the 3 here, bro. And then shadow to shadow. Now, if you went X to 3 equals 24 to 4, giddy up. You're going to get it right. Does that make sense, guys? All right, now listen. Tomorrow, oh yeah, we'll have the fun stuff. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Hope you learned a lot. Peace.